Normally do. I am actually starting the live stream on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. So, how about that for some newness for the new year? Okay. Before we get into video, today's discussion, it's a very special day today. It is a very, very special day today, and I would be remiss if I did not just take some time, at least 22 seconds, to recognize the fact that today is Founders Day for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Today, January 13th, 2021, marks 108 years since the founding of the most illustrious sorority, the only black sorority that really matters. Today is our Founders Day. So I want to take this opportunity to wish my sorors across the world a very happy Founders Day. And yeah, I hope you are enjoying yourself socially distanced, participating in all of the nationally mandated activities that we've been talking about all week. Happy Founders Day, and much love and respect and honor to the illustrious and inimitable 22. Okay, so welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday, y'all. Today's conversation is one that I'm very excited about. We're going to be talking about a little bit about how to establish yourself as an expert. So we'll be digging into that branding piece. If you are new here, welcome. If you have been rocking with me for some time and you know what this Wisdom Wednesday is all about, welcome back. My name is Nick Scott. I am a personal brand coach, and I help women entrepreneurs establish their credibility, amplify their expertise, and get premium pricing for their products and services. And I use a process and a method that I coined, that I developed, and it is called selfless self-promotion. I have a signature program called Fab Public Speaking, and that is where I conduct group coaching and I really dig into how to leverage your personal brand to increase sales for your business, to grow your email list, and to get yourself, your products, and your services in front of your target audiences. So today's discussion, like I said, I am really excited about today's topic because it does dig into that branding piece of your business. Not just the branding piece, but the personal branding piece of your business. And that is specifically how you are going to establish yourself and your personal brand as an expert. How do you establish yourself as an expert out in these streets, right? Because part of establishing your credibility, remember, that's one of the things that I said that I help women entrepreneurs with, establish their credibility and amplify their expertise. But part of establishing that credibility in your niche requires you to have your own thoughts. It requires you to have your own ideas. It requires you to have your own opinions. And you're probably sitting there thinking like, Nick, duh, I have my own thoughts, ideas, and opinions. I am an independent, strong woman of this millennium. Of course, I have my own thoughts, my own ideas, and my own opinions. Okay, like you're not even telling me anything new. But here's what I mean by that. It is so easy. It is so easy for us, for me, for you, for practically any human to be influenced by other people's opinions and what's trendy, like what's on trend. It's easy for us to get influenced by that stuff. And then somehow when you see or you hear the same opinion or the same thought or the same idea over and over and over and over and over again, somehow it becomes how you think, how you feel, your opinion about a certain topic. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, I am not discrediting the fact that you are a strong, independent woman who has her own mind. But what I am saying and what I am bringing to your attention is that it is very easy for even the most strong and independent woman to be influenced by other people's opinions, and even more so than what's trendy. So if you follow like fashion trends, you don't even really have to follow fashion trends really. If you just go in the store, right, and you look all over a store on any given season, and you see, let's just say, the color red all over the store, and you're like, in your mind, you're like, I don't even really like the color red. So, you go and look for whatever your power color is, and blue, black, gray, yellow, whatever your power color is, you go and look for that, and it's hard to find that color because every store that you go into, all you see is red. All you see is red. Then all of a sudden, subconsciously, it's not even a conscious thing that happens because it's so subtle, right? Like you weren't even thinking about the color red. And in fact, you might not have even liked what the color red looks on you, but subconsciously, somehow, the next time you go to the store, or maybe the next fifth time that you go to the store, you're buying something that's red. And it's not because you don't have any other option to buy anything. It's because psychologically, what these marketers and what these sales folks and what these advertisers have done is they have pushed the color red on you so hard and so many, like you don't even recognize it. You see it on television. You see it when you go to the store, you see it in magazines, you see it on social media, and then and subconsciously now all of a sudden you're attracted to the color red. And then the next season, when the color red is, it's no longer trendy and it's out of season, PS, by the way, the color red is always on trend. It is always in season. However, for the purposes of this analogy, we're going to keep going down. We're going to keep on going down this path. The next season that comes around, the color red is not on trend, right? And so now you have all this red in your closet that you bought last season because, that it was everywhere and it looked so good on this person and that person. And, and you even started to like the way that it looked on you. But now the new color of the season is brown, right? And so you go to your closet and you're like, I got all this red. Red's not even a pretty color. I don't even like this color. And you start getting rid of all the red so you can start to buy brown, right? So yes, we are strong, independent women with our own ideas, with our own thoughts, and with our own opinions. But even the strongest and most independent of us are subjected to being influenced by other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's ideas about a given topic that we might already have a firm stance in, or even what's trendy. So if you really want to start to build a profitable and sustainable personal brand, if you really want to start building a profitable and sustainable brand, you are going to have to take your own stance on some things. You're going to have to take your own stance. You already have your own stance, right? We already established that you are a strong, independent woman with your own mind. I got my own mind, right? You have your own mind. But you have to recognize the psychology behind what's trendy and what's popular. And I used fashion as an example, but it happens in so many other areas that sometimes we start to find ourselves compromising on our own morals and values because of the subconscious marketing and advertising and sales that happens, and we don't even realize that, right? But you're going to have to take your own ideas, your own thoughts, and your own opinions, and you're going to have to take a stance on it. Take a stance on it. You're going to have to push back on some of those trends and those popular opinions. If you are truly committed to establishing your credibility in your niche, you're going to have to push back on some of those trends and some of those popular opinions. I'm sorry. It's just It is what it is. You're going to have to learn how to create a space for you to share publicly your thoughts, your ideas, and opinions. It's not enough for you to just have them in your head. It's not enough for you to just share those thoughts and ideas and opinions that are counter to what's trendy with your inner circle and within the confines of your own home. Like, that's not enough. You're going to have to figure out and create a space for you to share those thoughts, ideas, and opinions publicly. Publicly. Remember, this is personal branding. It's not private branding. So I'm not saying, disclose a bunch of private information about yourself, but I am saying you have to get personal. You have to get personal because your audience does not want to hear a bunch of thoughts, a bunch of ideas, and a bunch of opinions that are already popular. They don't. They want to hear what you have to say about a given topic in your industry, in your niche. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear your thoughts. They want to hear your ideas. They want to hear your opinions, even if they aren't popular. They want to hear how you would approach their problem, right? And they want to hear your unique solution. Yes, that's right. Tiffany Chanel Speaks says, take a stance and get personal. You got to get personal with this thing, y'all. Like, it doesn't benefit you in any kind of way to just ride the wave of what's popular, to jump on every bandwagon that comes on, especially if it goes against what you believe, your own opinions, your own thoughts, and your own ideas, because your audience is hungry for what you have to say. They don't want to hear a bunch of stuff that they could find on Google or read in a book. That's not what they want. They want to hear your unique perspective. And if you truly want to become the go-to expert in your niche, in your industry, you have to start looking at the ideas presented in your industry from a critical perspective. You have to start critical thinking, right? And that critical thinking is something that doesn't necessarily start to happen until you are well into your 20s. Teenagers don't really have the ability to critical think. Children don't really have the ability to critical think. From psychology perspectives. But as adults, we have the ability to critical think. So if you are committed to this thing called personal branding and leveraging it for you to become the go-to expert in your industry, you have to start looking at every idea presented in your niche from a critical perspective. So what do I mean by critical perspective? Well, I'm glad that you asked. What I mean by critical thinking is you have to learn how to look at any given subject matter. I don't care what it is. Any given subject matter that you are claiming to be an expert in, and analyze it. And analyze it. You need to assess it. You need to deconstruct that thing. I don't care what it is. Deconstruct it, and then you need to reconstruct it. And I'm going to say that again, because I want y'all to write that down. Critical thinking means, for the purposes of leveraging your personal brand to catapult you to become the go-to expert in your industry, it means that you have to look at any given subject matter that you are claiming to be an expert on, and you have to analyze it. You have to assess it. You have to deconstruct it, and then you have to reconstruct it. Okay? So even if it's something that you agree with, you still need to challenge it. You still need to challenge it and develop and formulate your own ideas, your own thoughts, and your own opinions about it, and then create a space for you to publicly share it. And you're going to have to learn how to critically think in a very self-directed, self-disciplined, self-monitored, and self-correcting manner. Because remember, at the beginning, I described how when you go shopping and whatever the color of the season is, somehow you find yourself buying that color. how sneaky this stuff is. So you have to be self-directed, self-disciplined, self-monitored, and self-correcting. So we're talking about self-accountability right here. Right? Nobody's up in your head holding your thoughts accountable but you. So if you start to feel yourself being influenced by this or that or the other, it's up to you to direct your own self, right? You have to develop a certain amount of discipline so that you can overcome being influenced by things that you don't need to be influenced by. Your audience is depending on you to do this. Your audience is depending on you to share your ideas, your solutions to their problems. How would you approach it? Because if the solution to their problem is something that they can go Google or read in a book or read on a blog, then why would they hire you? Why would they hire you? What is unique about the way that you approach their problem? They want to know that. And you have to share that. So a few episodes ago, I talked about SMART goals. And if you know what SMART goals are, I want you just to drop a thumbs up down in the comment. So if you're watching this on the replay or you're watching this live, just drop a thumbs up if you know what SMART goals are. Because I'm not going to go into it right now. But I did a couple episodes. I talked about SMART goals, and I admitted that SMART goals was something that I created my goals around for many years, just like so many other people. I don't know if it's a worldwide concept, but definitely here in the United States, a lot of us create our goals, whether it's monthly goals, annual goals, whatever, around this idea called SMART. Well, I pushed back on that idea. I pushed back hard on that idea, and I went so far to say that you should not be creating your goals the SMART way, because if you are creating your goals the SMART way, you are limiting your potential. You are setting yourself up for mediocrity. I didn't say that in the last discussion that I had about SMART goals, but I'm saying it now. You are setting yourself up for mediocrity, and I would dare say that SMART goals were developed by someone who is in corporate America. Because the way that you go about accomplishing goals in corporate America is very different than the way that you go about crushing your goals as an entrepreneur. So it might work in corporate America and in traditional settings, but in this entrepreneurial world, SMART goals are holding you back. So don't set your goals. And that was an idea. That was an opinion. That was a thought that I had that is counter to, I don't know how many thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of people rely on SMART goals to set their goals, because it just seems like a really great idea, right? We're supposed to set our goals on each one of these things, and boom, if we do this, then it's going to make it easier or simpler for us to accomplish, right? And I said no. And I said no to that. And my audience thought about that. And they can take that information and do with it what they want. But what I didn't do was sit up here and say, okay, guys, I know that you're doing goal setting, and I want to introduce you to this concept called SMART. They can Google that. Y'all want to hear what I got to say about SMART. And I say SMART ain't smart. Another example that I have is I am currently reading the book Profit First. And Profit First, I'm maybe about 25% of the way done with the book, so I'm not done with the book yet. But in this book, the author, Mike somebody, I can't even pronounce his last name, but he presents this idea called Profit First. And essentially what Profit First is an accounting system for entrepreneurs. And I use the word accounting very loosely because he is very clear at the very beginning of the book, and as I'm reading through the book, that the accounting system in the traditional sense goes against everything that humans, even all of our habits, all of the ways that we are, it goes completely against that. And he doesn't say that it's not necessary, but he's like, this thing, the accounting system, the modern day, the GAAP, the general accepted accounting principles or whatever it is, these were established like in the 1800s or something. And we still use them to this day. Like they haven't changed much, they haven't evolved much. While humans have changed, the way that we spend our money has changed. This GAAP hasn't changed much. So he is completely pushing back on the traditional accounting system, and he's introducing this new way, a way for entrepreneurs to implement in their businesses so that they can start to track their own accounting that is in alignment with their behaviors and the way that they already spend and the way that they already save. And it's called Profit First. Now, let me tell you how powerful having your own thoughts and opinions and ideas are, and how powerful it is to share them in a public space. So this guy, Mike, he came up with this idea. Like most of us entrepreneurs, he tested it out on himself because he was in a situation and he was like, this is some BS. You know, he lost a whole lot of money, and he's made a lot of money. He sold a lot of businesses and he lost a lot of money. Like, he describes this as his rock bottom place, depression and the whole nine. And out of that was birthed the Profit First system. And so he started to test it on himself, and he was like, wow, this might actually work. Then he took it to the market and started testing it on other entrepreneurs. Now, let me tell you how powerful this is. Your own thoughts, your own ideas, and your own opinions. This guy has Profit First, and his entire business is built around it. He has speaking engagements all over the world, teaching people Profit First, large arenas and small arenas. He's written books. So he is a published author, probably some type of best-selling author on somebody's list, right? He has people, entrepreneurs like me, and probably thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of others who use this system in their own businesses. All because he was bold enough, he was brave enough, and he understood, you know what, this GAAP, I understand it's been around for generations and generations, and this is the tradition, right? Like, I get that, but it doesn't really work for us. It doesn't work. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take another principle that's been around for generations and generations and generations, and I'm going to apply it to what I'm calling my own system. I developed this idea. I coined this phrase. Y'all get what I'm saying? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? If you're following me, I want you to let me know that you're following me down in the comment sections. I need to know that y'all are feeling me with this, because this is so serious. So many of us want to be experts in our industry. Oh, thank you so much. So many of us want to be known for something in our industry. But so many of us are afraid to put ourselves out there. We're afraid to put our own thoughts, our own ideas, and our own opinions out there. Our own frameworks, our own methodologies, our own systems, the things that we know work, that are counter to what's popular, we get a little fearful in that. But I understand it. No shame in your game if you're a little reserved about it right now. But I'm telling you, not only does your audience want it, not only are they hungry for it, not only are they waiting to hear about it. Like, we are tired of doing the same old. We want something new. And you have it. So they're waiting for that. So not only that, but it starts to position you as a premium product. Premium product, which means that you can charge premium prices for your products and services. And not only that, but you are helping, I don't know how many people, right? Like, the SMART goals way of setting your goals people just go to it like this is the tried and true. We've been doing this. They don't even think about it, right? How many times have you heard somebody say SMART goals are not smart and you should not set your goals around the SMART process? Because if you are using those to set your goals, you are setting yourself up for mediocre success at best. How many people have you ever heard say that? Ever? I've never heard anybody say it except for me. How many people have you ever heard, this GAAP, this general accounting principles, general accepted accounting principles, this thing was established in the 1800s and we still using it today? I'm sorry, there's a better way. There's a better way for us as entrepreneurs to see profit in our businesses, right? So what is it that you have? What thought, idea, or opinion do you have that you have shied away from sharing publicly? Because after you've committed yourself to looking at any and every given subject in your area of expertise through a critical lens, remember we talked about that critical thinking. I don't want y'all to forget that. Remember, you're looking at everything, any and everything through this critical lens. You then have to create a platform which you are going to share your perspective. That, my beautiful sisters, is how you are going to establish your credibility. That right there. Now, I'm not saying that every idea, thought, or opinion in your industry needs to be pushed back on, but I am saying that you should be looking at it and thinking about it critically. I am saying that you need to be aware as to whether or not the thoughts and opinions and the ideas that you have are your own, that they're yours. Because I remember how easy it is for us to get influenced. Politics is a great example. I talked about fashion earlier, but politics is another great example of how our own thoughts and opinions can be influenced just because we're hearing something and seeing something over and over and over again, and then subconsciously all of a sudden our whole moral fabric has changed, right? So make sure that your thoughts and your opinions and your ideas that you have about whatever it is in your industry and your niche, that it's yours. That is yours. And then you need to start leveraging the power of your mind. You got your own mind, right? We are strong, independent women with our own mind. That you start leveraging what's up here in your mind, your thoughts, your ideas, and your opinions, and you use them to build your personal brand. You use them the way that Mike, the author of the book that I just talked about, Profit First, you use them the way that he did to position himself as a premium product. He said, this is my thing. This is what I do. This is my thing. And this one thing is sending me all over the world, and I'm helping all kinds of people that I've never met, people that I've never seen, with this one idea that is counter to what had been established centuries ago. Because it is those ideas that provide a unique perspective. Like, you can't Google what I'm going to teach you in my program. You can't Google it. Sorry, you can't. Because I got my own mind. And as you know, if you've been rocking me for a while, I am not afraid to push back on popular ideas and popular opinions. I don't care who developed the concept. So you can't Google what I teach. Because those are the things, your thoughts, your ideas, and your opinions, that is what sets you up to be a premium product. Y'all feeling me? I feel good about this one. If you're ready to create and learn about how to develop a personal brand that will position you to become a premium product, make sure that you download the Boost Your Brand Roadmap. Download the roadmap. If you have not already, download the roadmap. You can get the roadmap on my website at inickscott.com/roadmap. If you are on Instagram, you can just click the link in my bio. On Facebook, I'm pretty sure that I have it linked in the caption or description of this post, but make sure you get the roadmap. Get the roadmap, sign up to get the roadmap, because in it, I have outlined 7 very simple steps, very foundational steps that you need to take to start to build a solid personal brand that can set you up for success. Now, I don't want you just to sign up for the roadmap, y'all. I don't want you just to go on my website, inickscott.com, and be like, yep, that's cute. I signed up, Nick. Check. I want you to check your email box. I want you to open up the roadmap, print it off, or download it to your iPad or however you keep track of downloads and PDFs. And I want you to take the steps. I really want you to take the steps and get your brand set up for success. The roadmap, again, is available on my website at inickscott.com/roadmap. And this one was good, y'all. This one was great. And before I go, I'm going to say Happy Founders Day one more time to my beautiful, beautiful sorors of the devastating Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.